Hello again. So for my final question, I was given two vectors as well as their coordinates, and I was told that they're perpendicular and that I needed to determine the possible values of k, as there was some unknowns in the coordinates that were given. So to start this question, I knew that for any two vectors to be perpendicular, um, the the dot rule must equal to zero. So I set up an equation that represents the two vectors as dot rule, with an answer of zero. And then from there on, I basically want to solve for k. And I knew that the first coordinate should be multiplied with the first coordinate of the second vector. Sorry. So I did -3 and then k, as that's the first coordinate multiplied with the first coordinate of the second vector. And then I did 10 multiplied by -4, as that's the second coordinate of the first vector multiplied with the second coordinate of the second vector. And then I did k plus k, which is the third coordinate of the first vector, multiplied by k plus 6, which is the third coordinate of the third coordinate of the second vector. And I added all of them up, and it has to equal to 0. So from there on, it was quite easy. You just have to factor it to find the values of k, and that's what I did here. I basically factored it, very simple factoring, and I found out that in the end, k can either equal -8 or k can equal 5, after we factored the equation. And yeah, that's the final answer, is that k can either be -8 or k can equal 5. And in a nutshell, we found this using the dot rule, because we know that two vectors, when we find the dot rule of two vectors and it's equal to 0, we know it's perpendicular, and we just solve for the k's. And yeah, that is it. Thank you so much.